Hello, and welcome to the third lesson of the chair system. If you haven't seen my other videos, no problem, I will put links to them in the description below. Now, last lesson we talked about this chair. We started off with the chair in the middle, and we moved on to the chair on the edge. And the useful thing about the chair on the edge, which will also be true of the chair down here, is you're going to wind up using it for your major landmark. In other words, you're kind of going to memorize where this chair is so that when you jump onto the fretboard, you'll immediately know, and you'll use that chair to find this chair in the middle. In pretty much the same way, you're going to use this chair, and this is the chair we're going to be talking about today. This chair is a little bit weird simply because you're crossing the B string. And whenever you cross the B string, everything is going to go down half a step, or rather 1 fret. So, where this chair right here should begin here, it's going to begin here. And I think the best way to practice that is just jumping from chair to chair, just doing it. Just do it over and over again, because if you've practiced the first 2 chairs, and you're used to jumping between these 2 chairs, this one is going to be very, very similar. Just instead of going from here to here, and you probably notice that doesn't quite sound right, you're going to go now, just like before, I want you to just play the chairs. I don't want you to get caught up in what the notes are precisely. It really doesn't matter because you're just playing position. So, this chair begins on the 8th fret, moves to the 10th fret, to the 12th fret, and then of course 2 notes on the side, just like all the other chairs. So, I want you to do the same thing for about a week or so, and I really suggest doing this maybe 10-20 minutes a day. If you want to, if you can, do it an hour a day. I mean, the more this, people always ask, how long should you practice? And the real truth is, there is no perfect length to practice. The more practice you do, the more you're going to get out of it. Now, if you do too much, don't start burning out. If you do this for half an hour, and your fingers are cramping and you're getting tired, you're not getting anything out of it. So just stop, take a break, maybe come back to it the next day, maybe come back to it in an hour or so. But just keep doing it, because your fingers are going to get used to it, your ears are going to start linking everything to the sounds. And you'll just start learning. Your fingers will do it automatically, and your ears will get used to what that does. And soon, once we've learned this shape and filled it out just a little bit more, I'm going to teach you how to use this to play over something. Part of the advantage to this system is that because all the shapes are exactly the same, you're going to be able to play the same thing in different octaves. And that might be something that's not real obvious to you right now, but if you're used to playing by box, for instance, if you're used to doing it that way, then you're used to your roots being in different positions. And you're used to the notes being in different positions. And so it's not always easy to play the exact same thing in a higher octave. Whereas with this system, you can very easily do the same thing octave to octave. So that's something you might want to practice. When you're going up and down the chairs, just playing the same thing in different chairs. It's going to be a really useful way to just get used to playing up and down the chairs. Also, keep in mind, because I've gotten a few questions about this, you're not playing any different notes than you would be with chords and box shapes. You're just playing them in a different way. You're just looking at them differently. And it's just simpler. It's sort of like a hack. I really hate to use the term hack, but it is kind of like a hack. So practice this, practice these 3 chairs, practice crossing that B string and making sure you get it right. And that's going to be tricky for a while. Don't worry. This is what's going to happen. You're going to play up this chair, and you're going to accidentally do that. You're going to do a back of a chair instead of a front of a chair, or a front of a chair instead of a back of a chair. Don't worry about that. Just keep doing it. Until your fingers just kind of make that jump automatically, because that little ability right there is going to enable you to get around one of the biggest problems on the guitar, which is that B string, because it's something we all deal with. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next lesson. I hope you enjoyed that.